Chapter 3117 begins with Erica having a calm conversation with Matriarch Farrell, during which Erica reiterates her intention to divorce Marco. Despite the matriarch's suggestion that Erica use the time during her absence to reconsider the divorce, Erica remains steadfast. After the conversation, she respectfully leaves, and Matriarch Farrell reflects on the situation. She acknowledges that Erica has reached a point of calm, no longer angry or emotional, which signals the seriousness of her decision to leave Marco for good. This realization leads Matriarch Farrell to take action. She contacts Marco at his office, initiating a difficult conversation about his crumbling marriage. Marco, upon hearing his mother's voice, becomes immediately nervous, aware of his guilt and anticipating the inevitable scolding. When she informs him that Erica has returned home to talk about divorce, he becomes defensive but is also anxious. He expresses his reluctance to end the marriage, stating that he does not want a divorce, despite the deep damage he has caused by his infidelities. Matriarch Farrell confronts Marco about his behavior, pointing out that his actions have left Erica heartbroken. She emphasizes that Erica's calm demeanor is a sign that she is emotionally detached and ready to leave quietly without further conflict. Matriarch Farrell bluntly asks how Marco can claim not to want a divorce while continuing to behave in ways that betray his wife. Marco hesitates, unable to offer a real defense for his actions, and his mother's disappointment is palpable. Despite his protests, Matriarch Farrell delivers a stern but measured response. She tells him that she will soon be away on a long journey and advises him to make a sincere effort to apologize and win back Erica's trust. However, she also recognizes the reality that Erica may not be open to reconciliation and warns him that if Erica remains firm in her decision, he must accept the situation gracefully. She urges Marco to consider their children and ensure that the divorce, if it happens, is conducted amicably. She stresses the importance of preserving dignity for the sake of their children, who will be deeply affected by the outcome. Matriarch Farrell advises him to cooperate with Erica, avoiding making a scene, and handle the divorce with care. Matriarch Farrell's internal conflict becomes more pronounced as the conversation with Marco ends. She reflects on her own life and the state of her family. She acknowledges her role as the head of the Farrell family, but feels the weight of her failures. Her husband, Holden, cheated on her for years, and now she sees the same pattern repeated in her sons. Marco's impending divorce is the first crack in what could become a larger breakdown of the family. She worries about the future of her other two sons and whether their marriages will also fail. The thought of all three sons divorcing weighs heavily on her, as it could spell the dissolution of the once powerful Farrell family. She also reflects on her relationship with her only daughter, Catherine. She realizes that their bond is not strong, largely due to Catherine growing up without her presence. Despite Catherine's loyalty and sense of duty, Matriarch Farrell knows that her daughter is different from her in key ways. Catherine has her own moral compass, one that may not align with the way Matriarch Farrell has led the family. The matriarch harbors fears that if Catherine were to learn the full extent of her past actions, including her potential role in the deaths of her sisters, Catherine would distance herself from the family entirely. This would not only sever their personal relationship, but could also prevent Catherine from taking over as the head of the Farrell family. These thoughts plague Matriarch Farrell as she contemplates the possibility that without Catherine's involvement, the leadership of the Farrell family could pass to the descendants of her eldest sister. Such an outcome would mark the end of her legacy and the downfall of everything she has worked to maintain. The chapter closes with Matriarch Farrell, burdened by a sense of guilt, regret, and fear, realizing that the control she once had over her family is slipping away. She can no longer force her family into compliance, and the fractures within the Farrell family are becoming increasingly visible.